Oh, David, look at the time. I believe it is the Chainsaw Minute.
I'm David, and this is your dose of Chainsaw Man. You can join us every Friday where we see what masterpiece Fujimoto put out.
I'm Jordan, and if you're looking for regular Shonen Flop goodness, you can find our next episode for our first thoughts on Demon's Plan. That's going to come out on Monday.
Just a reminder, these recordings are open to everyone, so listen and chat along with us all in the Shonen Flop Discord every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time when there's a new chapter out. You can find a link in our show notes or on our site. Jordan, what was your devil this week?
Oh, the insomnia devil, David. I ain't been sleeping well. Ugh. How about you?
You can probably hear it, listener, but I had the sore throat devil.
You know, David, if you feel any better, I didn't notice it. I mean, I know it because I saw your devil in the document. The devil's in the document.
Bazinga.
But yeah, I hope you feel better, man. I hope we both feel better.
Thanks, man. What's having you not sleep?
Oh, who the fuck knows?
I know we all got stuff we're going through, but we'll get through it together. Just like how together, we're going to go through your awesome plot summary for
Chapter 127, Save the Asa.
Oh, a smooth transition. Asa is really struggling to keep from falling, and unfortunately, it is about to get worse. The falling devil appears behind her, saying that she'll make it peaceful for her since Asa isn't really afraid of dying. She's like afraid of the sensation of falling and potential impact. So the falling devil's basically saying, yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna make that okay. You're not gonna worry about it. Just close your eyes. So Asa closes her eyes and lets go, with her only regret being that she never got to fall in love. She then continues falling into the sky until Chainsaw Man appears and grabs her hand. Denji tries to make her think of happy thoughts to keep her grounded, which for him are, David, they are dogs, cats, ice cream, and cats.
Yes. I feel like Jordan liked the slight modifications I made to the plot summary he wrote.
I did. Asa's basically like, don't make me think about cats. That's like my trauma. Popcorn David.
Unfortunately, Asa's depression is strong enough to pull him off the ground. He holds onto her to desperately stop her from falling. They have a discussion where Denji reveals he's actually really struggling right now, and that he's been going through a lot and is worried for the future. But he still has one thing that keeps him grounded.
What is it?
His love for how the future is best.
Yes, the future is best!
Yeah. God, that would be so great if he showed up. But actually, Asa asks him what? And Denji says, the most Dennis thing we've ever heard. Sex! I want to have sex. Asa is grossed out. And end of chapter.
End of chapter. What a great end. Oh, man. Let's talk about why this week's chapter was a 10 out of 10. I really like this chapter.
Hell yeah. I noticed that Fujimoto really loves the demonic hands. Like, it reminds me a lot of how the Hell Devil was taking children back in part 1.
Okay. You mean like the massive demonic arms, like a ton of different arms and stuff, just like, yeah, no, that's true. I feel dumb for not noticing this, but the falling devil holding her head is kind of like she's keeping it from falling.
Yep.
Yeah, like, duh. I like how she holds Asa's head in the same way that she holds her own head. Also, man, what I like is that Fujimoto is kind of hinting that Denji and Asa are both desperate for the same kind of thing. You know, Denji says he wants to have sex in the same way he wanted to touch boobs. But as we've seen, like when Denji gets to first and second base, it's never really what he wants because
no.
What he really wants is somebody to love him and care about him and support him and like be there for him.
He just wants to be held, and he also wants part of his body to be held, which is his penis, because he wants to have sex.
Yes, that's true.
I wonder when the sex devil's going to show up.
Oh my god, can you imagine like what it's going to... I mean, I have no idea what it's going to
be
look like.
Some nerdy incel guy.
It's going to be like a hamburger. It's going to be something completely different from what you think it could be. Like
the Hamburglar.
Hamburglar, yes!
This is an embodiment of male sexuality.
Hey, I get it. What about you, man?
So something I thought was really interesting, this also really parallels chapter 102, which is Save the Cat.
Ooh.
Why I think the title is kind of awkwardly English, why it's Save the Asa, not Save Asa. In that both those chapters actually started with giant hands trying to catch them, and then ultimately thinking they're going to die, and then getting saved by Chainsaw Man at the last minute.
Yeah, and Chainsaw Man brings up cats a lot in that process. Do you think like he's especially sensitive towards saving cats because of power?
Maybe. I mean, he just likes cats.
Well, but he didn't really like cats when we first met him. Like, that was like a whole thing where Power was like, I want to save a cat. And he's like, well, I wouldn't save a cat, but I would save a dog.
Also, I saw a Reddit post that said what fictional characters would have OnlyFans, and my snap pick was Power would have one.
Power would have one, but it wouldn't be like other OnlyFans. She would just have like no clue what it is, kind of. She would like...
Oh, she would only post clothed content.
Yeah. You know what, though? Power would actually make a lot of money as, like, a dominatrix, I think. Like, she'd be, like, super into that, just being like, mortal, bow before me. You know what? There's a lot of characters in Chainsaw Man that would make money as dominatrixes. Like,
really? I wonder who? Like, Makima?
Oh my god, Makima. Are you kidding me?
I also really loved the use of parallel lines. How this chapter had a lot of really great vertical panels to really give a sense of falling and vertical space instead of using horizontal panels, because it's really just such a vertical chapter.
Yeah. I also, what I love about Denji's horniness is that it is such a balancing act, because like, imagine if Denji was like, I want to have sex with you, Aza. That would be terrible. That would be fucking horrible. But it's just like... Well,
she is his former what was his future ex-girlfriend or something?
His former potential ex-girlfriend.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but like still, the point is, at no point is he like creeping on her. It's just like she asked him and he answered. That's what he's interested in. He wants to have sex. And it's like a weirdly innocent perception of sex.
He just wants to touch some boobies.
Yeah, well, he's touched the boobies, David. And,
that's true.
You know, now he made it to first base. He made it to second base. Both instances were terrible. Every time he made out with someone, it was awful. But, you know, now he's ready to move on to home base. Oh, man. I feel like there's more that you could say about this chapter, and like the implications and like the inner workings. What I like about it is Aza is wrong when she says nobody has it worse than me. But like you...
Yeah, that's such a melodramatic thing to say, but she is like 16.
But also like you kind of get why she feels that way.
Her parents did die in front of her and it was her fault.
And then, like, you know, she was just reminded of a horrible traumatic thing where her cat was killed. Like, I get why a 16-year-old, especially in that situation, would think that.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool.
Anything else about this chapter you want to talk about?
Not right off the top of my head.
Well, then I want to say, Jordan, thank you so much for all of your hard work on the show.
Thank you, David, and thank you for your hard work on the show. You do so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, anytime. And you can find us on Twitter at Shonen Flopcast and our website, shonenflop.com. We're also on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, wherever else you get your podcast. And thank you again, Trey, for the opening theme and the episode shoutout. You can find them at Tre Watson Music. Props to Shannon for the awesome cover art. You can find her online at illuminyatea. And as a reminder, you should be joining us every Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time when there's a new chapter out. Find a link to it in the show notes or on our site. And stay tuned for Monday as we give our first thoughts on Demon's Plan.
Oh, David, what do those demons have planned for us?
Oh, goodness. We'll find out. I still have to finish reading it.
After the first chapter, I have absolutely no idea. But, you know, yeah, thank you so much for listening. And, oh no, David, I'm looking at the clock. And unfortunately, I think that the Chainsaw Minute has passed.
How terrible.
Oh, bye.
Bye.